Are we there? Wait, it says starting, propagating. Please wait. Okay.
Okay. Hey everyone. So it's another Thursday. It's another Fallout Hobbies live stream. I'm going to be working on lighting some Dark Eldar Reaver jet bikes for the next hour or so. As always, Jules is here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
But her voice is kind of messed up right now because of a cold or something. And so, just go easy on her, guys, because she can't talk too loud right now. So how has everyone's week been so far? Good, bad, not so good? Hopefully we worked some of the kinks out from last week's live stream where we had some technical issues with the sound and stuff like that. We made a lot of adjustments on our end, and hopefully it should be a little smoother. But if you hear any sound, if any of you guys have any sound issues or anything like that, just please let us know so that we can, fix it on our end. All right. So today I'm going to be working on putting some lights in some Dark Eldar jet bikes here. But one of the things that's a little bit tricky about it is, number one, I built these bikes before I thought I was going to put lights in them. So I have to basically drill a channel from here and then out down this way in order to get the LED to fit in there. And then I didn't put the end caps of the engines on. I have those bits right here. So thankfully I'll still be able to fit that in afterwards. But let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is just get a really good alignment here. The drill bits. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. Jules is monitoring those, and I will answer them as soon as I can. Thinking I might want to get my Dremel tool out to do some of this. I might do that. Actually, I am going to do that. I'm going to go get my Dremel tool real quick. This Dremel tool is ancient, by the way. Ancient, it still works. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a rather large hole right up through where the spine will be. And go right up to about there. And then I'm going to be drilling. It's actually kind of hollow in here a little bit, so I probably don't have to drill too much. But I do have to drill in through this way a little bit. About like that. So I'm going to start with the big hole first. Yeah, that was, it punched into an open cavity there, so I definitely know it's hollow on the inside. So if I were to This goes all the way in there. About that far in there. Alright. That's good. Kind of feel like this is a little bit like dentistry. Like when I had my root canal last year, the dentist just kept drilling and sticking wires in as far as they could go. Then he ended up pulling the wire out like this far.
Except you refused to go to the dentist because you're stubborn.
I know I'm stubborn and refused to go, but when I finally did go, he like drilled and inserted a wire like this far into my jaw and was like, yeah, that's how deep the cavity goes, all the way up into your skull. I was like, wonderful. And if any of you are squeamish about dentists, I'm sorry about that. I just had to tell that horror story. Now I'm going to take the tiny drill bit. There. Alright, this is where you got to be really patient here because these drill bits can snap very easily when they're in a power tool. They're super small. But also, I don't want to get the chuck of the Dremel tool like near these fins and, you know, kind of shave the fins off by accident right here. So patience, have patience. Also, when you're drilling, even at low RPM, into this plastic, GW plastic is just so freaking soft that it melts immediately, and you end up with this like crust around the drill bit. A lot of times you can just pick the crust off. If you can't pick the crust off, get a pair of, you know, sprue snippers like this, and just like give it a 1-2. It'll crack it off. There you go, and you're clean again. But you got to watch out because as that plastic melts around the drill bit, it can also make the drill hole a lot larger because it's making the drill bit wider than it is. So you want to be especially careful of anything like that if you're drilling out like bolts or barrels or anything like that. Like you can see how much wider the drill bit is than the hole because that crust started gathering up there. You know what I mean? That being said, I'm going to have to go back in. There we go. I could feel it punching through a couple cavities on the inside of the bike. And it just started to scrape the fin right here, but I stopped just in time. And I'm going to scrape this crust off while it's still kind of warm and can smush right off. There we go. If you had a lower RPM Dremel tool, you probably wouldn't need to deal with that as much. But I'm running a pretty high RPM one here. I'll get out a second drill bit. So I have one in the hand drill too. So any questions so far from anyone? Is the sound doing good? Are we
Simon says the sound is doing good.
Simon's watching?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Yep, we had to fix all the settings on the
Yes,
sound.
sorry about that last week, guys.
Man, your poor voice. I'm sorry, babe. Alright, so I'm going to try to run these wires through here. Now, I see them coming through the hole here, but here's the trick. I kind of got to get them into a little bit of a L shape. So what you do, just kind of take the wires and just kind of create like a little bit of like a fishing hook, I guess, would be the best description. Just try to hook the wires a little bit at the end like that. So that when you run them through, you're going to hit a little bit of a wall, but then they break through. There we go. Okay. I see them, but they don't want to curve back up. Maybe I'll try going this way. Maybe I need to drill this hole out a little bit more. In an ideal world, I would have planned this out in advance and not, yeah, I'm going to need to drill this cavity out a little bit more. Because what happened is I built these reavers and then I wanted to light them up after the fact. So that's kind of where my stupidity in this whole ordeal came from. But I like to show you guys my mistakes as well, because everyone out there makes mistakes. And you shouldn't be discouraged from building models just because something doesn't work out right the first time. Okay, I got an idea. Let's get out the copper wire. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fish it. I'm going to try to get one copper wire to carry the other ones, because this one copper wire is a little bit more rigid. It's a slightly higher gauge, so it's not going to crumple inside of that as much, hopefully. So I'm kind of going to make a little jig here. I'm going to get this through first. Just bear with me, guys. There we go, I see it.
Arminio says it sounds good. Jay Weidmer is asking what army is the bike for.
Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
Drukari, I guess, is their current.
Yeah, Arminio said, yeah, it's a Reaver jet bike from Drukari. Sorry, guys, I'm flipping back and forth between YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook to make sure I don't miss any comments, so there might be like a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, we are now streaming on our Twitch channels, our YouTube channel, and Facebook, obviously. So that being said, there's a lot of different places where we have to monitor comments. So we're just trying to make sure that we got it all.
We're just getting the hang of this because this is new with the multi-streaming.
Had a pair of needle nose tweezers around here.
I don't see any over here.
So I'm just gonna try to get this thing.
Erminio is asking, he goes, all gravy, what's on the menu for the stream today? He says he plays the army and is curious as to what we have planned.
Well, for the stream today, I'm just lighting some reavers. But as far as the army goes, I am building a ton of shit for Dark Eldar right now. I have jets. I have a ton of racks that I was working on. I recently was painting incubi as of yesterday. This is an incubi that I'm like 80% done on. I just need to finish up some highlights on him. I got the last week's video. I was painting up sails and whatnot for the new sails that I sell for a raider. A lot of stuff going on.
We'll have a newsletter going out tomorrow. We're going to be kicking off our 4th of July sale. It's going to be both on Chapter Customizer and Fallout Hobbies for 15% off. And if you order from both sites and you shoot us an email at customerservice@fallouthobbies.com with both order numbers, we are going to offer combined shipping and refund the shipping fee to Chapter Customizer.
Yep. There we go. That should help out significantly. Uh-oh. Just put a Dremel tool on top of my inky bag. Oh yeah, there we go. Yep, so big 4th of July sale starting tomorrow. We do one every year. Does anyone have any good 4th of July plans that are socially conscious?
Nathan Dayton's asking, like add-ons for the front of the Raider that will go so well with the sails and prows, all the sexy parts, he says. And Jay Weidmer is asking if we do anything for Space Wolves. I'm actually building a Space Wolves army, and we have a bunch of chapters that we're going to design, with Space Wolves being one of them for Chapter Customizer. But for now, you can order custom stuff.
Yeah, we're working on some more of the Space Wolf successor chapter options. Nathan Dayton, I just packed his order up yesterday for all the new Eldar bits stuff, so those are going to be going out shortly. And we are going to be releasing some more space, like generic type Space Marine bits pretty soon as well. Ooh. That kind of hurt my finger for a second. It's hot plastic.
Nathan says, booyah. Yeah, we're working on it.
We are working. A lot of orders going out. See, now I feel like I have a crust stuck somewhere inside of here.
And if you head over to fallouthobbies.com, we're really excited to announce Simon just got our new website is live officially. So there's...
Oh, it just went up?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. D. Mike Dadaho says that he said this before, but you folks put out amazing stuff. Thank you, he says.
Oh, thanks, man. Ah, man, I see it right here. I see the wires right at the tip here. I need those tweezers. I had a really tiny pair of tweezers. Needle nose ones. What am I tooling? Here we go. Like I said before, the smart thing to do in this situation would be to drill out all the channels before you build the bike. I will reiterate that I built these bikes before I thought that I was going to light them up. So I'm trying to run the channel without doing a lot of damage. Oh man, I got it. I keep getting it, and then it just keeps sliding out. Maybe if I go in this way. You know what? I'm being too dainty with this. I can drill this hole out a lot bigger in the back. This kind of stuff is always a little bit of experimentation. Is there a chunk of plastic in there that is blocking everything? Trust me, guys, this will be worth it once I finally get it through.
Huh. And Jarek is saying it would be pretty cool to ride a jet bike like that, for sure.
Oh, of course. There we go. One wire through. Two wires through. Perfect. Perfection. Okay, the one thing with the SMD LEDs is that the LED is actually kind of like flat on the wires here. Let me see if I go get it closer to the camera. So if you want it to aim properly, you have to kind of bend it like at a 90-degree angle like that so the light, shoots out properly. So let's get this mounted. See, I'm trying to mount the actual diode in the center, like as centered as I can get it. Okay, and while I'm at it, I'm just going to get one of these engine caps. And I'm going to put a generous glob of super glue and some zip kicker. So I've talked about Zip Kicker before. If you don't use it, it's Super Glue Accelerator. This is Instaset from Bob Smith or Zip Kicker. They're the same thing. Either one of them, very readily accessible. Oh, sorry, bang the camera. Readily accessible at hobby stores or on Amazon. What it does is it solidifies super glue on contact. I like to use the Gorilla Glue gel because it's a little bit more globulous, I guess would be the right term. And it doesn't spill everywhere like some of the other like more watery type super glues. So get that on there. And then I'm just going to put a drop of this Instaset around the seam and close that back up because I can't tell you how many times I've spilled that shit. And Simon can attest to that. There we go. So the LED is mounted really far in the back now. And
We need to find a way to have like a virtual game night of some sort
ta-da!
besides.
Look at that. There we go. So here, with this little bit of light leakage, that's around the edge, that's easy to fix. Just when you paint it, just take a thin brush and paint like a bead of black paint around that before you paint it the remaining colors, and that'll fix that light leak in there. That kind of stuff is pretty common. But there it is. The light is in the jet bike. All right, so now I'm going to do that for 3 other ones. So right now, we're selling the micro LED kits. You get 5 LEDs, but then you get one of these little doodads in there. And the micro LED kits are about $8. I am in the process of putting together new lighting kits just for jet bikes that come with 3 of these, as well as 3D printed stands and supports that allow you to like run wires through them. In fact, let me get one of those. Get one of those out right now. If I can find one. Here's one, and here is the stem. So these are going to be coming out soon. I'm waiting for supplies from China in order to do a decent stock up, but it's basically replaces the flying base. Let me find a flying stem. So a lot of the jet bikes would come with like a clear flying stem. So this stem replaces it. There's actually a channel right down the middle of it that you can run the wires down, and then these fit on the bottom. As you can see, I need to do a modification because I need to make these 2 millimeters tall. But the premise would be you'd be able to do that and have the battery fit in the bottom here, and the whole jet bike would be one piece with the lights coming out. Coming up soon. I'm working on the final details of that before I release it publicly. But it would come with 3 of these bits, 3 of these, and then a bunch of LEDs.
Hold that thought, babe.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Trying to change the orientation because Simon says we're. One second. Sorry. There you go. You are good.
No. What?
I know. Don't kill me.
Can you just
I will
leave it alone,
Stop
please?
screwing me. He said you're upside down. Sorry. My bad.
Well, oh my god. Now I have to... Hold on, guys. Bear with me.
Apparently Simon told us we were upside down. So
Well, what does it look like on there?
your hands are like upside down because it's the orientation was not right.
Does
so
it really matter?
yeah, because he said it's awkward for people to be able to see what you're doing properly. I don't know. That's just what he said. I was attempting to fix that. My bad, guys.
All right, let me finish adjusting this. I had it all set up. I tried to do all this stuff beforehand.
Simon says looks much better now.
Yeah, but the interface on the camera is upside down.
But that's okay.
Whatever. This is unprofessional.
You're welcome, Simon.
Things like that should be addressed after the video because I don't like it when the video gets interrupted by stuff like that. I don't think that it was crucial. Okay.
We have a question for how many LEDs can be wired to one board, one battery?
To one of these
Yeah.
micro batteries. Well, you can wire a lot to them, but the problem is you kind of drain the battery a bit quicker. So my suggestion would be about no more than 4 or 5 to one board. Because at that point, if you leave it running for like an hour or so, the lights are going to get extremely dim. So right now, we're going to just say about 4 or 5. I have tried to max it out. I was working on some dark Eldar jets, and I definitely had too many LEDs in them. I needed to break it down to 2 boards to divide the load. Also, the different SMD LEDs have a slightly different pull. One's like the white and the blue LEDs pull just a little bit more power from the battery than something like the yellow or the red. So if you have colors that are like all whites and blues, you're fine. If you have colors where it's like blues, but then there's like maybe a red in there, you'll notice that the red will start to get dimmer a little bit quicker than the blues, because the blues are kind of sucking a little bit more energy from the battery. But even still, it works, and it just, you might use up the battery a little bit quicker is basically what I'm saying. There we go. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now is basically do the same thing to the other two. I'm going to drill out a much larger hole here, and I'm going to drill out a much larger channel here, and I'm not going to be as dainty with it as I was the first one. So hopefully they'll go through a bit quicker. Let me start with the bottom one. Okay. I'm just going to get the X-Acto knife in there and get some of these little scraps out.
And is there very much illumination loss when more than one gets wired?
Well, no. I thought I just explained that. You can wire up to 3 or 4 in them, but the thing is that it'll drain the battery faster. So you won't get an actual loss of illumination until the battery starts getting really low. That being said, like I said, 3 or 4, 5 maximum. So, like, here's a good example. So, like, over here, this Raider that I was working on has 5 in the back, right here. And if I hook it up to a battery, the one is off center. That's the reason that one looks a little weird, because I wasn't done gluing these in place. So this one's just kind of floating in midair. So just there we go. So no, you're not dealing with you're not dealing with any illumination loss. There's a little bit of paint on this guy. There we go. There it is. So you're not dealing with any illumination loss when you hook up like a bunch of them. But like I said, it'll drain the battery faster. So this one, the battery will drain obviously faster than if it was just a singular reverb with one battery. Okay, I'm just snapping off the bats here so I could run the drill on it again. I get a little obsessive with cleaning these bits off the table after I drill. Alright, So I'm going to drill the big channel in the back. Again, see how this is, drill bit's a bit short, and if I were to drill in there, I'd sand off the tips of these things. So what I'm doing is extending the drill bit as far as I can get it in the chuck. I could even bring it back just another notch there. There we go. So that way, when I'm drilling the hole through here, I don't get anywhere near the tips of these things because I don't want to lose those. Okay. Plastic gunk that I talked about before. Brush that off. That is a big glob of half melted plastic. All right. Let's see how this fits. Where's my little drill bit? That is a straight shot through there. Okay, I'm going to try to run an LED through here. Okay, I see the wires in there. Get the tweezers out. Come on, bugger. Okay, one wire out, and then there we go, 2 wires through. That was a lot quicker than the first one, wasn't it? Only took like a minute. All right. Again, I'm going to bend the LED here. Pop that through and try to get it centered right in the middle of the engine right there.
Jay says thanks for explaining and stuff. So
there's always, I mean, a little bit of experimentation that's involved with here, especially with these micro LEDs. They're such fickle little things, but when they work well, they work very well. And that's why I like to just kind of experiment with them and just see what happens. Okay. You know, this could use a little bit more super glue. Okay, and a little bit more zip kicker right into the seam there. Alright, let's test that one out. Perfect. Just a little bit of light leakage, just like the last one, right around the edge there. So all you have to do is just run a bead of black paint there, and that'll fix it up.
and Daramon says, yeah, the 5 together are good. Thanks.
Yeah, if you need like more than that, I would suggest dividing the kit up into like 2 battery clips. Like I'm working on a Void Raven bomber, and that thing has 4 engines, plus there's like 4 interior lights, a cockpit light, and then 1 light underneath where the bomber area is. So I divided that up into 2. Okay. That guy is wired up over there. And then one last one. So hopefully I won't screw up the last one. You want to make sure all the little chunks of plastic are out of the channel, otherwise it could like bend the wires. Yeah, this is going to need one more pass. There we go. Let's make sure that channel is through. Okay, there's a couple little crusts in here. I'm eyeballing it, making sure it all goes through. Okay. Hold it in place. And tweezers. There we go. There it is. Alright, I'm going to get this guy in place, then I am going to plug up the light leaks. I want to make sure this is aiming out correctly. That last engine cap. Here it is.
And it looks like Simon has our new chapter customizer website up. So
oh, awesome.
He and I spent this morning going through all of my redesigns, making sure everything was good to go, and it is up early, so that's exciting.
That's awesome, yeah. Guys, if you go check out the websites, both of them are new. FalloutHobbies.com and ChapterCustomizer.com. We've designed them with the intention of expansion because we're going to be bringing in a lot of new products over this upcoming year, and wanted to get the websites kind of streamlined a bit. There's also more search functionality on Chapter Customizer now. So if you're looking for something more specific, just type in a couple keywords in the search box, see what comes up.
We also now have a couple of things that you guys have emailed and asked for, like gift cards, and we launched a customer loyalty program as well.
Yes, that just launched. You can buy gift cards now from the website, which is awesome. And we have a rewards program. So if you're a frequent buyer, you can get some points and get some free stuff. we have a couple guys that buy from us pretty regularly for their projects, especially the airbrush stencils and whatnot. So,
And if you sign up to our newsletter, you get an automatic $5 off coupon. So
nice. Lots of good stuff happening. All right, I am going to break out a little bit of black paint. Let me just get a brush ready here, and I'm just gonna seal this up. There's not really too much more I was planning on doing with today's video. I just wanted to show you guys how to get the lights involved. But I'm also going to take a minute to show you how to fix light leaks. So let's just get out some black paint here. Now, there's going to be, I still have to prime these and everything, and I'm going to prime them black, which is, you know, going to cover up a lot of the light leaks. But even still, I want to take a little bit of a preemptive measure and see how there's like a couple little bits of light like shining out the side here. Just get a brush and just run some black paint in there, and it fills up the light leaks there. So I'm just going to run that around the whole crack of it. It's not going to interfere with the light coming out the engine at all. It's just kind of going to seal up the side a little bit. Some of the leaks might be a bit stubborn. This guy's going to need like probably this little one right here is going to need probably like 2 passes. So once the first layer of black dries, I'm going to do a second pass just in that one spot. Here there's a little bit of light leaking back here where the plastic got a bit thin. No biggie. Just seal it up with some paint. You can see, I'm trying to get this under the camera, you can see there's a little bit of blue leaking right under there. So just seal that up with some paint. And this top one as well. Once this black dries, I'll go back over everything one more time just to make sure that I got it all. And then once I prime it with the black primer, it'll be completely evened out and you won't even see any of those leaks. There we go. Oh, that's a big one. That's gonna take 2 passes for sure. Well, maybe not.
hi, this is Stuart. Good to see you again this week. He's asking how many lights come in a kit. Depends on what kit you order, really.
Yeah, if it's the micro LED kits, which we're using here, it's 6 LEDs and a battery clip, a Lily board battery clip. But like I said, I'm releasing new ones for jet bikes soon when I can get the inventory in from China, and those ones will have 6 LEDs as well, but it'll come with 3 battery clips and 3D printed bases for jet bikes that support the batteries underneath the base. So there we go. All right, guys. Well, that's
1 second. Stuart's asking, and also when you prime it, do you just put something over the light? Yeah, tape works really well.
Yeah, just tape or something. You know what? Let me just show you how I would do that real quick, just to. So for something like this jet bike, I would just take a piece of blue tape and I roll it up into a tight tube, sticky side out. The sticky side's on the outside. And just, and just put it right in there like that. And then when you're done painting, pop it out. But yeah, that's how I would do it to mask it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you found this video informative. And at this point, I think I've done everything I wanted to do with the video. And once again, just reminding everyone, go check out the new websites. They just launched while the video was being filmed just now, so that's awesome. We have the new customer loyalty program.
Gift cards.
We have gift cards. We have new websites.
And
we
sale
have
starts at midnight.
At midnight, our 4th of July sale, 15% off both sites, and we will do combined shipping if you order from both Fallout Hobbies and Chapter Customizer.
Just shoot me an email at customer service at fallouthobbies.com.
Yep, just if you're ordering from both sites, just place orders on both sites. Shoot us an email. We'll refund the shipping for one of the orders and mail them together.
And Stuart says thanks. It's
cool.
Awesome.
All right, well, have a good rest of your Thursday, everyone, and I will see you next week with another video. Hopefully something exciting. Alrighty.